Germaine Stewart was born on September 7th, 1957 in Columbus, Ohio. His birth name was William Germaine Stewart. He's known for being an amazing singer, songwriter, and a dancer. You probably know him from his biggest hit called "We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off to Have a Good Time, Oh No." Sorry, I'm not supposed to sing anymore, but I couldn't help it. It was released on his second album in 1986. His song called "Say It Again" hit the top 40 in the US. He had a few other songs that charted well in other countries. He sang backup on the 1984 Culture Club song called "Miss Me Blind." He moved to Chicago and made it onto the TV show called Soul Train as a dancer. He became friends with the singers Jody Watley and Jeffrey Daniel, who were also on the show. They all auditioned to get in the group called Shalimar. Germaine didn't make the cut. The bass player for Culture Club recognized Germaine's talent and helped him put together a demo. Germaine was gay, but he kept his sexuality private during the 80s. He died in 1997 from AIDS-related liver cancer. He was 39 years old. Robert Reed was born on October 19, 1932 in Highland Park, Illinois. His birth name was John Robert Reitz, Jr. He was an actor. He loved classical theater, and later in life he taught a course in Shakespearean acting at UCLA. He was a perfectionist and had high standards. His most well-known role was as Mike Brady on The Brady Bunch. It ran on ABC from 1969 to 1974. He often left detailed memos to the producer detailing his dissatisfaction with the creative direction of the show. He refused to appear in the 5th season finale because he wasn't happy with the script. They fired him and the show was cancelled. He did appear in many reunions and spin-offs. He studied acting at Northwestern University and the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London. He moved to Hollywood after gaining experience in plays. After a few small TV roles, he starred in a show called The Defenders. He acted in an occasional play, but mainly appeared in TV projects such as Mannix, Rich Man, Poor Man, Roots, The Boy in the Bubble, The Love Boat, and Wonder Woman, just to name a few. He was a closeted gay man who married a woman in 1954. They had one child together. He died in 1992 from colon lymphoma. He was also HIV positive, which his death certificate says contributed to his death. He was 59 years old. Anthony Perkins was born on April 4, 1932 in New York City. He is known for being an actor, singer, writer, and director. He was a star on the stage, TV, and the big screen for over 40 years. His dad was an actor who was too busy to pay attention to him and died when Anthony was 5 years old. He suffered from very low self-esteem. He said his mother smothered him with an adoration that was almost inappropriate. I think he will be remembered most for his role as Norman Bates in the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock film called Psycho. He called it the Hamlet of horror roles. He reprised that role in 1983, 1986, and 1990. He directed Psycho 3. He attended Rollins College and Columbia University, but he didn't graduate. His first role in a film was in the 1953 movie called The Actress. He had a stellar career with over 60 movies. He had a good voice and released 3 pop albums in the late 50s. Although he was gay, he married a woman named Barry Berenson in 1973 and they had 2 sons. He died in 1992 from AIDS-related pneumonia. He was 60 years old. Gia Carangi was born on January 29, 1960 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Many consider her the first supermodel. She lived life at full speed and it ended way too soon. There was a movie made of her life called Gia starring Angelina Jolie. She had a very hard upbringing. Her parents argued a lot and eventually divorced. Her mother left the family when Gia was 11 years old. She felt like she didn't get attention from her dad because she wasn't a male. She was a huge fan of David Bowie for his music and style. She signed with her first modeling agency at age 17 in New York City. Within a year, all of the top photographers and designers wanted to work with her. She appeared on many magazine covers. She considered modeling a quick and lucrative job. It was never her ambition to become a top model. She was very open about being a lesbian. She was in Blondie's video for Atomic. Of course, she started partying at Studio 54 and developed a cocaine and a heroin habit. She would show up to shoots with track marks on her arms, and they would have to be airbrushed out. She would throw tantrums, pass out, shoot heroin during breaks, and just disappear. She attempted to get clean, but she was arrested for a DUI in 1981. A photographer's assistant said, "I could see the change in her beauty. There was an emptiness in her eyes. Her heroin addiction worsened. Her modeling career was over. She was broke and working dead-end jobs towards the end of her life. She never married and had no children. She died in November of 1986 from AIDS-related complications. She was 26 years old. Paul Shenar was born on February 12, 1936 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was an actor. I've made a lot of these life and death videos so far. Seeing why he died actually shocked me. He is most well known for his role as Alejandro Sosa in the 1983 epic movie called Scarface. He was a ruthless Bolivian drug lord who it seemed could never be trusted. Remember when he warned Tony Montana not to betray him? IMDb described Paul as an attractive, dark-featured character actor with a voice like thunder and eyes like a wolf. He became interested in acting at an early age. He joined the Air Force after high school. He studied drama at the University of Wisconsin, and after graduating, he moved to New York City and started appearing in plays. He was a founding member of the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. He played Orson Welles in The Night That Panicked America. He appeared in Roots, The Secret of Nim, Dynasty, Columbo, Wonder Woman, Logan's Run, Hawaii Five-0, Raw Deal, as well as many theater roles. Paul was gay, and he was in a long relationship with an actor named Jeremy Brett. Paul died from complications of AIDS in 1989. He was 53 years old. Robin Crosby was born on August 4th, 1959 in La Jolla, California. His birth name was Robinson Lance Crosby. He was the original guitar player, a songwriter, and a founding member of the band called Rat. Jake E. Lee was also a guitarist, but he left early on and he was replaced by Warren DeMartini. At first they were called Mickey Rat. He played acoustic guitar on the song called Never Say Die from John Bon Jovi's Blaze of Glory album. He grew up playing sports and then became obsessed with the guitar. He co-wrote many of the band's hits, including Back for More, Lay It Down, Round and Round, I Want a Woman, You're in Love, and Wanted Man. What was your favorite Rat song? He was dating Tawny Katane when he joined Rat. That's why she was on the album artwork for an EP and Out of the Cellar. She also appeared in the Rat video for Back for More. He struggled for years in a couple of different bands before making it big. Robin was a talented guitar player who seemed to be living the dream. His band sold millions of albums, and there were new groupies in every city they played. He became addicted to heroin and alcohol, and that started his downward spiral. He went to rehab numerous times. It all came crashing down when he was diagnosed with HIV in 1994. He had left Rat 3 years earlier. He made the announcement that it progressed to AIDS in 2001. He was in a couple of short-lived bands, and he worked as a producer. He said, "What has drug addiction done for me? It's cost me my career, my fortune, basically my sex life when I found out I was HIV positive." He was married once, to a Playboy playmate of course, and had no children. He also said, "When I die, nobody cry at my funeral. In fact, let's all have a party. I've lived the life of 10 men. I lived all my dreams and more." He died in 2002 from a heroin overdose. He was 42 years old. Tom Fogerty was born on November 9th, 1941 in Berkeley, California. He is known for being the rhythm guitar player in the band Creedence Clearwater Revival, and for being the older brother of John Fogerty. He was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1993. Tom and John started out in separate bands. Tom's band was called Spiderweb and the Insects. After they broke up, John's band, called the Blue Velvets, became Tom's backing band. They changed their name to the Gollywogs. In 1968, they settled on the name Creedence Clearwater Revival. With John singing and writing the songs, the band became wildly successful. Tom resented John and became unhappy with John being completely in control. He decided to go solo and quit Creedence in 1971. The brothers stopped talking. He had moderate success. He was married once and had 6 children. The brothers would never reconcile. Tom needed back surgery and received a blood transfusion that was tainted with HIV. He died from complications from AIDS and tuberculosis in 1990. He was 48 years old.